Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of really interesting bodybuilding updates. The first thing we're gonna talk about is a new physique update from Rafael Brandao. So I would say this is definitely one of the front runners, not exactly, the top 4, but somebody who could potentially crack the top 4, potentially beat guys like Martin and Nick Walker. It's not very likely, but if they are off for whatever reason, and there are reasons to think that those guys can be very much off, maybe this guy can slide in. It's not out of the question. Now, the problem with Rafael is also that he might end up being off as well. That's kind of what everybody feels like. Me personally, I don't think so at all. Now, we got a physique update, not just this one. This is one snippet right here, you can see it. And, he doesn't show much here, but what he does show here, you can see his abs, you can see his quad being a little bit feathered, and overall he looks, flat, like he's dieting, but this is good for 2 weeks out, basically. What we can see here that I found interesting is that he's still eating carbs. He posted these 2 photos, so he's not in a panic mode, like Martin Fitzwater. He is not on 0 carbs and doing a bunch of cardio. I don't know how much cardio he's doing, but he is not on 0 carbs, dieting like a maniac. He still has some potatoes, some rice, some cream of rice, and some fruits. So the way I see it, he's probably just focused on maintaining the fullness, actually, and conditioning is gonna come for Rafael. And I think that's the main difference he did when he started working with Neil Hill. The first time we saw these guys present their work together on a stage was the Arnold Classic 2024, where Rafa brought the biggest fullness, the best fullness, the biggest package he ever brought. He was in his usual condition, I would say, but just much bigger and fuller, and it looked that much better. Rafael, with more size and fullness, and with his shape, is much more competitive than, smaller, shredded Rafa with, the same shape, but without the size, without the fullness, which is what he was doing with Chris Aceto. So the way things are looking right here, take a look at the legs. I think this is good. He doesn't need to be super peeled at 2 weeks out and super dry. I think he's going to carb up and he'll get bigger and fuller, but what is important is that he's maintaining the muscle, the size, and with the other factors he has, it's probably going to be enough. Now, he also posted this video. It's a really fast video, but I slowed it down and you can see basically exactly what he's bringing, and, I don't see any big improvements. I wouldn't say so. I don't think he's bringing like something new, something much bigger and better. I think best case scenario, he'll be the way he was at that Arnold Classic where he took that 3rd spot. So is there a chance of him cracking that top 3 again? Well, the lineup this year is much deeper, so it's not expected, but I think he might surprise. And a lot of guys are like, I want to have the physique like a C-bump, but I'm pretty sure more people who are watching this channel, at least more bodybuilders, would prefer to have this sort of a look. This is basically classic, like C-bump, just bigger and fuller, and this is a very successful open bodybuilder. Huge, not as huge as Nick Walker or Samson Dauda, but still bigger than a classic guy, with still having a beautiful shape, beautiful symmetry, just overall great look, and the judges just might appreciate that. It's not the most important factor in the open, not even close, but it can be appreciated, so I think this guy actually has a solid chance of doing well. How well? Again, best case scenario, top 4 if he gets a little bit lucky, but I think it's more likely to see him in that top 5. What do you guys think based on this? Is he going to be in shape? Is he going to be big and full enough? What do you think where he's going to place? Tell me down below in the comments. Alright, the next physique update, let's put it that way, we got is from Ronnie Coleman. Now, we are not going to look at this as just another physique update. This is Ronnie in his 60s, and this is the king of bodybuilding, the greatest of all time. And even though he has not competed in the last 20 years or so, it's still interesting to see what he looks like, especially because he's still training. After all the spinal injuries and surgeries and him basically not being able to walk, he's still in the gym doing what he can, and it's very inspiring. I gotta say, somebody that loves bodybuilding so much, it's crazy. So here is what he looks like right now, and You know, you would expect him probably to get even smaller and to gain weight, to gain fat, but it's impossible for this guy. He will never get fat, that's for sure, no matter what he does or doesn't do. And he'll always have, you know, decent muscularity, especially again for his age and especially considering everything that happened to him. So again, this is him right here. He's training, he's doing some dumbbell presses, and you know, he's still enjoying it. He's still doing what he loves, and that's really great to see. Now, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go into analyzing his physique. I think we can all see what he looks like, and it's not really a bodybuilder's physique, so I can, you know, break it down and analyze it. And it's not even a physique update, it's just him training. And, you know, I gotta say, I like to see that Ronnie is still active, that he's still training, that he's still maintaining a certain amount of muscle, staying in great shape, doing what he can. Of course, as he gets older, he's gonna look worse and worse, but that's just part of the aging. If he didn't have the injuries and the surgeries, he would probably be able to maintain a better look, more muscle. He will still probably be pushing hard, but considering everything, this is still very good. Whatever you guys think about it, tell me down below in the comments. The next bodybuilder I would like to talk about is one of the most, if not the most famous bodybuilder in the world right now, who is prepping for the Arnold Classic, and that is Nick Walker. Unlike him, he is not giving us any proper physique updates. Why is that? Well, last time this was the case, it was because he was terribly off. Not just one time, but 2 times. The time when he skipped the Mr. Olympia, and also when he showed up last year looking terribly off. What is going to be the case this year? I think this year it actually could be different. It actually could be that he is doing this because he wants to surprise everybody and shock the world. And one thing is different from his 2 previous preps where he failed with condition. His face actually looks sunken in. And that gives me hope. That tells me that he actually might be bringing good condition, because look at his face right here. This is not your usual Nick Walker face. He's not bloated as always. His head does not look enormous like it usually does. It actually looks small, and he looks sunk in. Like he's dieting hard, like his conditioning is good. And again, he is not showing us any, you know, real physique updates like he usually is when he sends his coaches, his check-ins. This year, he doesn't have a coach. I don't know if he's taking the check-ins for himself or for somebody who is looking at him. I'm sure he has somebody, a friend at least, to take a look at him, to advise him, to maybe give him their opinion. But he also posted this video of doing the leg press, and here we can kind of get the idea of what his legs are gonna look like. And you know, they look full, big, and that side leg is showing pretty good separation. The hamstrings are absolutely massive. I mean, this guy gotta have so much strength, because those legs are serving as freaking springs. I just googled that word. I hope that's how you translate it. So yeah, I mean, this guy has massive, freaking massive legs, insane amount of size. And as you can see, the conditioning is for sure coming along. Is he gonna be peeled, shredded, the most conditioned he ever was? I don't know about that. I have a hard time believing that, but it's a possibility. He did show us his physique in this mirror selfie here. It's not much, but it's something, and it looks like he's lean and dry. I wouldn't say he's peeled out of his mind, but does he need to be? No, you can see his back a little bit as well there, and it also looks pretty hard. So yeah, I think Nick is gonna be big and full and shredded. You know, one thing I was kind of worried about Nick doing this by himself is that he might bring a flatter look the way he did for the Arnold Classic 2023, which he thinks was a great look, but it was definitely too flat, especially next to Samson Dauda. That's why he lost. So no, he cannot come in too shredded and flat. He needs to be super full and lean enough. As lean as possible, but without sacrificing any size and fullness, because that's his trademark. Without crazy fullness, especially in his legs, he just doesn't look right. he needs a lot of fullness in the legs to make that physique look, proportionate a little bit more, because he doesn't have great proportions or great symmetry, however you want to call it. Like, aesthetics are not there. But if his legs are flat, then it just ruins everything. He needs to be full, especially in the legs, to look somewhat aesthetic, which is very important. So I think he's doing the right thing. We'll see. I can't really base my opinion based on these snippets and gym mirror selfies, but from what I can see, from what I can gather, I think he's gonna be on. That's my opinion right now. Soon I'll make a prediction video, but yeah, I think he's gonna do well. I don't see Martin beating him. No. As far as him beating Andrew or Hadi, that's a tough one. I'll have to think about that one maybe a little bit more, but yeah, I think it could be eventually between Andrew and Nick if Hadi fails due to all the pressure he's under right now. But again, we'll see about this. Hadi is looking great, Andrew is looking great, and I would say Nick is also coming along. What do you guys think based on what you can see right here? It's not much, but do you have an opinion based on this? How Nick will do and how will he look? Will he bring good conditioning and good fullness and overall good look, good peak? Whatever you think, tell me down below in the comments. All right, now the next physique update we got is from Hassan Mostafa, and interestingly, it's basically one day after I made my assessment video, and in his previous update that he posted, he looked like he was deep into his off-season, but in this one right here, he looks better than in that one, but you can still see his legs, his lower legs and his thighs a little bit, and his upper body looks drier than the legs, but still, this is not phenomenal. He says, always focused on the goal. Well, if his goal is to be the least conditioned guy on any stage he steps on, then he's definitely on the goal. Is that going to be the case this year? Yeah, probably. He'll be the least conditioned guy. I don't see anybody bringing a higher body fat percentage and, still probably doing well. I don't think he's going to place dead last. It's crazy, but this guy has so much muscle that he still manages to beat a couple of guys at each show he does, even though he's basically guest posing at these shows. If he actually was willing and able to get conditioned enough, then maybe he would be placing much higher. He definitely would, but he has a lot of muscle. Somebody said in the comments somewhere that he talked about how he has indigestion when he's on low carbs. So it sounds like an excuse, let's be real. It sounds like a proper excuse not to diet hard, but I don't know. If that's the case, then we probably won't see Hassan in good shape anytime soon. I mean, you can still do a diet with moderate carbs, maybe in some cases high carbs, but like Rafael Brandao, for example, but not in Hassan's case. I don't think he can do much with like low fats, high carbs, and I don't know, moderate protein. I think he needs to lower the carbs down, but if he can't do it or if he doesn't wanna, that's up to him. But yeah, this is gonna be probably, your usual Hassan's guest posing appearance at a show where he's gonna probably beat a couple of guys, and I think he's gonna be happy with that. He's just showing up, I guess, for the sponsors, not really looking to win any shows or plays really well. But it is what it is. Whatever you guys think, tell me down below in the comments. We also got something interesting from Joe Palacios, who looks like a freaking monster right here. Every physique update he posts looks freakier and freakier. Look at those freaking delts, man. What the hell is going on there? And people are accusing him of using AI to make his physique look freakier. And he says his goal is to shut those people up and to show on stage that this is no AI. And I believe it. I don't think this guy would be using that kind of stuff. This is just an insane amount of muscle packed on one pretty small frame, right? I mean, he's a shorter guy and he has a ton of size, over 310 pounds, 320 in the evening, as he says. So yeah, crazy width, crazy mass, insane. This is one of the freakiest guys of today. His arms are 22.5 inches. So I can see them getting to 23, 24 potentially in the future, and I don't think they are SEO. They don't look like that. He's just a freak. He's that big. And even though you guys maybe don't like his shape and aesthetics, he still has so much muscle that I am certain he'll win a pro show this year and qualify for the Mr. Olympia. It's only a matter of which show he's doing. He's doing actually Tampa, that's for sure. And he might very well win that one, but he's going to probably do a couple more shows this year. So yeah, he's winning one. I'm sure about that. This kind of a freak can't go unnoticed. He has to be on the Mr. Olympia stage. And the last physique update we got for today, guys, is the front double bicep from Joan Pradells, in which he is looking like a real freak. This guy is putting on some serious size this offseason, and hopefully he's coming back to compete this year as well, with slight improvements in size, especially in that back. As you can see from the front, his lats are huge, but I want to see more back thickness and details, especially the upper back. I mean, lower back as well. I want to see those lower lats, thicken up. And if he does that and brings better condition from the back, and in the glutes and hamstrings, this guy can definitely win a pro show. He was close, actually, so close last year. I mean, close by placing second a couple of times, but I don't think he was ready for the Mr. Olympia. However, this year, I think he will be. I think we'll see both Joan and Joe on stage, on the Mr. Olympia stage later this year. And that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you soon, guys. All the best, and bye-bye.